For too many people, the only time they have heard of a labyrinth is from the famous story from Greek mythology, the Labyrinth and the Minotaur. That labyrinth in Crete was where the intrepid explorer Theseus tracked down and killed the murderous Minotaur, a terrifying monster that was half human and half bull who lived in it. To the Greeks, Theseus represents the traveler guided by divine instinct, represented in his case by a golden thread that he could follow, through the labyrinth of life to overcome the debased, animalistic side of his own nature. In many ways, that is still an important point of a labyrinth, as we seek union with God and strive to forsake our sinful ways. Labyrinths have been with humanity for millennia and were used for numerous religious purposes. The maze or labyrinth has appeared in the symbolism of ancient Egypt, nearly all early Mediterranean civilizations, and Indian and Tibetan cultures, long before medieval Christianity subsumed it. In fact, thousands of years ago, at Nazca in Peru, people danced on labyrinths shaped like flowers and birds. Most cultures share a symbolic understanding of labyrinths and mazes as places for expressing ideas of inner journeys through the confusing and conflicting pathways of the mind. The goals are often different depending on whether the labyrinth is terminal or continuous, but that requires a little bit of explanation and some definitions. Unfortunately, a maze and a labyrinth represent the same thing to the average person. In the Cretan story of the Minotaur, the labyrinth was a maze of doom, a particular type of labyrinth called multicursal, as there were numerous courses that dead-ended and in which travelers could be disoriented and possibly killed by the Minotaur. The multicursal labyrinth is therefore labeled more correctly in common usage as a maze, whereas a labyrinth has a single pathway, known as unicursal, in many courses. This unicursal labyrinth represents a journey within which the destination is clear. Yale musicologist and historian Craig M. Wright, who explored the archaeology of mazes, states that in the ancient world, the unicursal maze was the archetype for reality, although the multicursal maze seems to have been the literary and poetic ideal. The differentiation of these two terms, of maze and labyrinth, is important to define for our needs here. The Oxford Dictionary relays the following. Maze, noun, a network of paths and hedges designed as a puzzle through which one has to find a way. The house has a maze and a walled Italian garden. Labyrinth, noun, a complicated, irregular network of passages or paths in which it is difficult to find one's way. A maze, a labyrinth of passages and secret chambers. Technically, there is no difference between these two terms, unless we specify each of its purposes.